studied a lot of tape of them as well from that week, and it's time now for his top 5 quarterbacks of Week 11 presented by Discover. We start at 5 and we work our way to 1.
Well, that's key, Lindsay, watching a lot of tape. I know there's some guys that put up some big numbers this week, but I had to dig a little bit deeper, and to me it's about decision-making throughout the course of the game, so we'll get right into it. Number 5, I put Derek Carr right there. One blemish, had an interception on a play that was really tough to read, but outside of that, I mean, 25 for 29, had a nice touchdown run on top of that, little sweet feet bouncing in and out and going up over the top for a touchdown, but he's playing really, really good football, not putting the football in harm's way, completing a lot of balls. I just like what the Raiders are doing right now. Derek Carr gets the number 5 spot. Number 4, a lot of people might have had this guy higher. He had a good game. Dak Prescott really playing well right now. You see the yardage there, 445 yards. The key was he just missed a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff out there that he didn't take advantage of, and so it dropped him a little bit lower, even though had a very, very good game, made the plays that he needed to when they weren't able to run the football. He's done that the last couple weeks. I like where he's at overall. Number 3 is a guy that's played hot. Man, I don't even know how many weeks it's been now, 6, 7 weeks. Kirk Cousins has been playing good football. Early in this game, they were trying to run it in key situations and not converting, and they fell way behind, and then Kirk took over, and he brought them back late in the game, down 20 in the second half, and you see right there, only 6 incompletions, 3 touchdowns. Does a great job when he's rolling to his left to see the field and make throws, but Kirk Cousins continues to stay hot. He gets the number 3 spot. I really like this number 2 quarterback. A couple weeks ago, we all made a big deal of the young quarterback, saying I was seeing ghosts on Monday night. It's nice to see him bounce back. He's played really well the last couple weeks. I thought this was one of his best games. Fully in control, seeing the field, making big throw after big throw. You see 4 touchdowns there on just 30 attempts, almost 300 yards. I thought Sam Darnold played one of his best games. He gets the number 2 spot, and then, man, a guy that seems to have a lockdown on the top spots in the top 5 is this guy right here. I mean, you can't deny him. Only 24 attempts, 4 touchdowns, another 80-some yards running the football. Just has everything going right now. They're playing well. They're extremely confident. He's extremely confident. Lamar Jackson, once again, gets the number 1 spot.
Lamar Jackson, we're used to seeing on this list. Good to see Sam Darnold up there, though, after what happened to him a few weeks back, bouncing back. There's one of the FedEx Air nominees that is not in your top 5. That's Jimmy Garoppolo. Anything specific that kept him off?
Well, the thing with Jimmy G is he makes a lot of plays and he makes a lot of throws. It just doesn't quite see the field. Too many dangerous throws. He had a couple red zone interceptions that really dropped him this week. Although there was a lot of good things, put up over 400 yards, he's got to eliminate some of those mistakes to make it on the top 5.
Kurt Warner, good stuff. We'll see you again next Wednesday.
Yeah, take a look at the NFC playoff picture. The Niners, Packers, Saints, and Cowboys lead their divisions. But the NFC has a total of 5 teams with 8 or more wins. So with all due respect to Kurt Warner and his top 5 quarterbacks list, it is time for JJ's top 5. MJD, does this man think he has the NFC all figured out?
Listen, I am so excited right now, JJ. I see what they were doing up there. Yeah. I want to know what JJ's top 5 looks like. I'm excited to see it.
I got you. Listen, man, I know what I'm talking about right here. I mean, these are some big-time teams. At number 5, I'm going right here with the Niners. Listen, you just seen the quarterback, Jimmy G, was not in Kurt Warner's top 5. I'm not a big believer in him yet. He has to keep showing me that he can do that. At number 4, I'm going with a guy that was on there, that's been on there. Just came back from 20.
Is this exactly? How they number 4?
Cousins has been balling. Hey, you can't think about what Kurt did in the past. Kurt has been balling and delivering every single week.
They shouldn't be higher than number 4?
Nah, number 4, because this next team I got right here. I got the Saints right there at number 3. Listen, Drew Brees, they got it rolling. Wow. They do got it rolling. I'm a believer in the Saints. But listen, I do not and I cannot put them in front of dangerous Russell Wilson, MVP candidate at number 2. The Seahawks, they beat this team right here. They are dominant. They are playing big-time football.
Let me stop you real quick.
And you know, you're going to stop me.
I thought I was going to like this, but now I only see one spot, and I see a lot of teams.
Yeah.
I know who the number 1 team is.
Yeah, go ahead and click it. Boom. I'm going to click it over here.
I
The
don't like
Green
this too much.
Bay Packers. And the reason why I got this list like this, listen.
Right. Please explain.
When you look at all these teams, all of them have very good defenses.
Right.
So when you get in the playoffs and you come down and you talk about the best teams in the National Football League, it starts with the quarterback. This guy right here is probably the fifth best quarterback in this top 5 right there. And these other ones, the ones I believe in.
This one here should be number 1 because he's up for the MVP.
He is up for the MVP, but this 2-time MVP.
Okay, listen.
All right, 2-time.
First of all, I feel so disrespected because the Rams aren't on there, but that's neither here nor there. And the Seahawks should definitely be number 1.
Where are you putting the Rams at up here?
I'll put them at 1.
Oh, okay.
Check me out.
Okay, that's
okay,
wrong.
listen, let's
don't even finish it. Don't even
we
finish
asked the
it.
people earlier in the show to go on Twitter and vote, and the results are in. Look, the people are saying the Saints. JJ.
Who that? The Saints?
Yeah,
oh,
what happened to your folks up there up north?
You know, we probably sleep.
North of the wall.
We sleep, it's cold and all that.
Yeah, it is cold up there.
And all that.
We also got a couple, we have a couple people that have said something to us as well. Let's read what they tweeted.
What they talking about?
Here we go. Total Acces. The Cowboys don't belong on that list. Seahawks, Vikings, even the Eagles are all better than the Cowboys. You should have put the Rams in there as well, Ryan. I appreciate that.
Ryan,
all right, we got one more. Let's see. Where are the Seahawks? 8-2, have the MVP, and they beat the 9. That's what I'm saying.
The Seahawks are at number 2.
They should be number 1,
No,
JJ.
you cannot put them in front of the Packers and a 2-time MVP quarterback and Super Bowl champion
right now,
quarterback.
We're talking about the
and he's playing at a high level right now.
Scott, I'm disgusted with this. The Rams aren't on there.
You guys keep chopping it up and check back next week and the week after and the week after. Well, we love highlighting wins and losses and great plays here on NFL Network, but one of the greatest things about football is how it can shape and develop character. This season, Gillette is celebrating NFL athletes who exemplify the best men can be, both on and off the field.
Texans tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football. Don't forget to set your fantasy rosters, guys. And according to Michael Fabiano, you should not put Jonathan Williams in that lineup. He had a huge game last week after Marlon Mack went out, but Jordan Wilkins is back from injury, so he might be the guy making Williams a sketchy play. Speaking of sketchy,
what?
These two guys are going to tell us who they think is going to win the game.
Why are they sketchy?
I mean, you know why they're sketchy.
Well, she's going to say I'm sketchy because I went to the great University of California, Los Angeles, where we tend to have some of the greats come out of it.
Why are you walking up
I'm sorry, I didn't know. I blacked out. I lapsed out for a second.
I go ahead first. I got Deshaun Watson bouncing back. 35-24. Watson and the Texans. Deshaun Watson bounces back in a big way.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I have the Colts 24-17.
You ain't agreeing with me all day.
We haven't worked well together right now, but our chemistry's off. But I'll say this. The Colts have won the last 3 matchups. It's tough to beat a team, man, when they have your number.
At the crib, it's bounced back. First place on the line.
We'll see you after the game for NFL Total Access. Possible NFC playoff preview, a possible Super Bowl preview, and the potential MVP on primetime TV. Guys, we're trying to say Week 12's schedule is stacked. Welcome to NFL Total Access, everyone. Lindsey Rhodes and Scott Hansen here to get you ready for it all.
Starting with the game that I presume you were talking about with regard to the Super Bowl, the Patriots and the Cowboys. A couple of division leaders going head-to-head in Foxborough, though the home team didn't look like a Super Bowl-bound team on offense last week. Tom Brady very frustrated after New England's 7-point win over the Eagles. Returned to the practice field today with even more reason to be frustrated. 2 of his receivers sidelined with injuries, Mohamed Sanu and Philip Dorsett.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of things we can improve on, that we're working to improve on, and that, guys are committed to. And the guys who are in there this week, whoever it will be, I don't know who it will be yet, but, we'll try to do it to the best we can do it to the best of our ability.
More from Foxborough now. Here's Mike Giardi.
Thank you, Lindsay. Bill Belichick in rare form today, quoting Eisenhower and praising the Cowboys organization from top to bottom. But boy, does he love himself some Dak Prescott. He said he can't imagine anyone in the National Football League playing better at that position than Dak is right now. And this is from a coach that a few weeks ago saw his team shredded by probably the odds-on favorite to win the MVP, Lamar Jackson. And when Belichick was praising him, he talked about his ability to make all the throws. And on top of that, because of Dak's mobility, he said it's just another rock on a big pile of rocks that we're going to have to figure out how to handle come Sunday at Gillette Stadium. Now for more on the Cowboys, here's Jay Slater.
Thanks, Mike. The Cowboys are going to need all the weapons they've got when you consider they are 0-4 against Bill Belichick and the Patriots. So some encouraging news. Safety Jeff, he says he's feeling better and he'll be good to go. And as for Amari Cooper, he was limited in that game against Detroit. And while he was limited at practice on Wednesday, he was there, albeit moving at a slower pace. So we'll keep an eye on him. As for Cowboys defensive end Michael Bennett, let's not forget he was traded to the Cowboys from the Patriots this offseason. He says this game isn't personal, it's just business, but he had high praise for his former coach, calling Belichick things like a great motivator, a savant, a historian when it comes to understanding the game, and someone that really knows his opponents. He goes over every likely probability in a game to make sure his players execute.
Jane, thank you very much. Look at the two quarterbacks in this matchup. If you just isolate this year's stats and their rankings in these particular categories, it's no contest. The most important position on the field is advantage Cowboys. Dak is first in passing yards per game, passing yards